Hello everyone, Brett here, and today I'm taking a look at a new software called QuoteMaster Pro, which is being released by Leah Butler Smith and her partner in this particular launch, Rob Maggs. So what QuoteMaster Pro is intended to do is allow anybody to easily create quote graphic posts for Facebook. Now here is an example of a quote graphic post which I have put on my own fan page. And I know you have seen these before. It's usually a picture of a famous person or something that's going to drag people's attention, and then a quote by that person. This software is designed to allow you to easily make these types of posts and also be able to post them on a wide range of places at once. For example, you can post it on many Facebook groups at once or many fan pages at once. So let's actually take a look at the software itself and see how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load up my copy of QuoteMaster Pro. Okay, so here I am. I've loaded up the software, and as soon as I open this, the very first thing I noticed is that I actually have to log in to Facebook in order to use the software. Now, normally when I see software like this, it's a big red flag because what this means is that the software is actually not using the Graph API, which is why it requires me to log in to my Facebook account. Uh, a lot of times when I see this type of thing, it's a pretty good indication that it's going to be a cheap product, usually cheaply done and not very well done. Unfortunately, in this particular instance, my instincts were correct. This really is a cheap software. It's not very well created, and it lacks a lot of functionality that I would expect to see in any type of quality product. And let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to log into my account here on Facebook through the software, since that's the only way to actually use it. So now that I've logged into my Facebook account, I can go ahead and search for fan pages and groups that I want to post to. So I'm going to click the search button up here, and you can actually see, I mean, even the little things just seem really generic with this. Like when I mouse over to search, it's the text icon. Um, or when I resize it, you can see how like the top header bar doesn't resize with the window when I change the size of the window. And all these things are just indicative of poorly created software that was quickly hashed together. And actually, this particular software reminded me of the old Visual Basic 6 programming language. And when I spoke to the creator of this software, he actually confirmed that this is visualbasic.net, which is it's only slightly less old than Visual Basic 6. It's a pretty outdated programming language, and which is why all these like weird things happen, like it doesn't resize correctly when you resize the window or the app on your desktop. But anyway, so let's go ahead and I'm going to search for some groups that I can post to. Okay, so to search for groups, what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type in the type of group I want to search for, the keyword. Now, right from the door, that's kind of lame. I mean, because why doesn't it just list my groups and let me pick the ones I want to post to? Why do I have to search for my own groups and my own fan pages by keyword? And the reason being is that it doesn't use the Graph API, so it doesn't really have any good functionality. It doesn't know what groups and pages I belong to or manage. So I actually have to search by keyword to find my own groups, which quite frankly, I found that to be a huge pain because I mean, I know my groups. I can't even type the name of it in. I have to search by keyword. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to type in the name of one of my fan pages here and see if I can find it that way. I'll look for the old Tab Engine fan page from the Tab Engine software that I used to sell. I'll click search. And it's still searching. And it didn't find it. Okay, let me try again. Let me try Tab Engine without the space. T-A-B, Tab Engine, search. Now the page I got some kind of error now this time. Yeah, I mean, you can just see how ridiculous this is. I mean, I'm trying to search for my own pages by keyword. All right, well, let me try to find a group and see if that'll work. And I'll just type in internet marketing because I belong to several internet marketing groups. All right, I'll click search. And it found 0 groups called internet marketing. So it's not even really searching for keywords. It's searching for groups that have that keyword in the actual name. Let me see here. Now it says 0 groups called internet marketing, but under here, it's showing me a list of groups that I belong to. You can even see it says like official JV Zoo Facebook group. It showed this. It says it was used a week ago, but I'm not able to select it in any way to activate it. That's weird. There's a group called Internet Marketing that I belong to, and I've used it 9 months ago. I still belong to it, but for some reason it says it didn't find a group called Internet Marketing. That's an exact name match, and it still didn't find it. Yeah, so I mean, this search functionality really sucks. First of all, it sucks that it doesn't just list my groups and doesn't just list my pages, and it even sucks even worse because it seems like the search just doesn't work very well at all. Okay, so I finally figured out actually how to get the groups added. So you can see I'm going to search for marketing. I'm going to click search, and it says found 0 groups called marketing. And it always says found 0 groups, at least in my tests. But what I did finally realize is I can go right here and I can click on it anyway. And this will actually take me into the group, into this little browser underneath. Then I can click the add button to add the group. And let me add it here. Oh, there we go. Add a group to favorites. Okay, so now that is added. Now again, I can't create multiple groups of groups. I have to do this every time, and it will always post to all of the groups. So let's say if I add 20 groups, it will always post to all of them. I can't select to only post to some or with certain ones. And actually, you can even see like why, if I'm searching for groups, why does it have the pages buttons up top? Why doesn't it just show the groups buttons? And then when I change over to pages, why doesn't it just show the pages buttons and hide the groups buttons? It makes no sense. And another thing you can actually see here is that the way to remove the group is you actually have to search for it again, find it, and then click minus to remove it. And there's no list. There's no list anywhere that I can see that lists the groups that I'm in, that I've added to this system. So this is horrible. This is not useful at all. I mean, to be fair, a little bit of the problem was that I wasn't using it right initially. I was looking at it saying 0 groups found and thought that was it, that there were 0 groups found, which I don't even know why it says that. But it doesn't matter anyway, because this is just such a horrible interface and way of doing it. It's not very well designed at all. And let's go over and have a look at the post creation part of this software. So I'm going to click on create. And now I'm on the post creation section of the software. So the very first step is going to be that I'm going to upload a background graphic. All right, there we go, found it. So I'm going to upload that. Now I've just clicked it and I believe that I've uploaded it, but nothing has actually happened at all. This hasn't changed or anything, and it actually took me a few minutes to realize what's going on here, and it's that there's no live preview. So even as I'm typing my text, so I'll enter my text here and I'll call it I am reviews. There's no live preview whatsoever, which is horrible. I actually have to click on create post, and it will create my post then for me. It didn't create my post. Hang on. Oh, there it is. Finally, I created my post. There's my post, and it says I am reviews, but you can see it doesn't have the background graphic. And the reason is because I have used images to off. Well, the whole point of this software is to create images. So why does it even have an option? I don't understand that. But I'm going to click to turn it on, and I'll click create again and see if it will post for me. Oh, there we go. Finally got it to work. Okay, so there is my Dogheads logo from my blog, and there is my text right there. Let me change the color of the text. Let me make it a little bit bigger too. I'm going to make it 32-point font. I'm going to change the color to red. And I'll click OK. And now I have to click Create Post again. All right. Now, here's a major problem with this particular thing. You can see there's only really two options. You can only put the text on the top or the bottom. You can enter bottom text. So let's say buy and click Create Post. You see, I can't position the text in any way. It's always going to be on top like that. It's always going to be on bottom like that. So this particular graphic wouldn't be very good for this purpose because it doesn't look well having the text over the graphic. It would be fine if I could maybe resize the graphic and put it on the left a little bit and then put the text on the right, which would make it similar to the post that I just put up here. Let me show you. Like this one, you can actually see the main graphic is on the left and the quote is on the right. Well, you can't do that with this software at all. The text always has to be either on the top or the bottom or both, and you cannot position it in any way. So, I mean, it's really weakly done. It's not a quality piece of software. It's not very flexible. You can see just by looking at it how poorly the software was made. It is definitely not a professional piece of software. Let me show you another thing. I was actually noticed this. I wanted to look at some of the help tutorial videos. So I click on it, and I'm going to click on main tutorial. All right. And you can actually see, notice here how it says you are using an old version of Internet Explorer that we will soon stop supporting. This is because what this software does is it uses the built-in browsing functionality that comes with visualbasic.net, and that built-in browser functionality uses an old version of Internet Explorer, which, as you can see, YouTube is going to stop supporting anyway. And this is the only way to get the support from inside of it. And, I mean, here's another thing I noticed. So this video is actually bigger than the bottom half of the screen. So I want to resize the two windows. You can see it's kind of divided into two windows, the top and the bottom. So I want to resize it and move this up so that way I can see the whole video actually. And you can't. It's not resizable at all. That just makes no sense. So now I have to kind of like watch a part of the video. I can't see the entire thing. Or I can go down here and click to view it over on in my browser, because this is an old browser anyway that's not going to be supported soon. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It just boggles me that anybody would present this as a quality product. I mean, they actually want to sell this. It's so horrible. I'm going to stop the review because as I'm looking at this, it's kind of amusing me, and I'm getting a little bit cynical, and it's not fair to do that. I want to keep the review professional, but I am just going to say that this thing is horrible. I'm actually surprised that anybody would try to sell this for money. Okay, well, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this review.